Insurgency Sandstorm's not in a great place at the moment, so today I want to discuss what NWI could have done and what NWI shouldn't have done. I really am going to try and be constructive today because, I'm one of their biggest critics, probably the biggest critic they've got. So I wanted to try and be more constructive today, give my views on what I think could put NWI and Insurgency Sandstorm back in that good place it was a couple of years ago. We know they've had issues with optimization and frame rate issues and the way the game was actually running. And that was the way I really started off about Insurgency Sandstorm. When I first started making videos about Insurgency Sandstorm, it was basically how good I thought the game was. I did realise it had problems and mostly on the optimization of the game. And I made videos about that, and NWI even then didn't like that. They don't like negative content. They don't like content creators making anything negative about the game. Rather than take that as a plus and address that issue and address what the community was going through, they basically got butthurt. And that is one of the main problems. NWI don't seem to be able to take criticism. That goes from the community managers, the last two, actually the last three community managers. The last good community manager was Alex. So they should have been able to address this criticism, speak to the community, speak to the content creators, and get it dealt with. Let people know exactly what they were trying to do about it. Did they do that? No, they really didn't do that. And staying on communicating with the community, I've been an advocate for the console community since they said they were going to release it. I was going to buy it on console. I will never buy it now, obviously, and I don't think a lot of console players would buy it. But one of the worst things they did was go radio silent. Rather than, keep the community informed, let them know what's going on. You did, promise the game. I don't know how many times now, multiple times you promised this game on the console. And when you give that definitive date and you couldn't achieve that date, what you should have done is come out, got your community manager, because he's the forefront, or she, whoever you have at the time, are the forefront for your voice to the community. So you should have come out and told the community. You don't have to go into, multiple details and all technical jargon. You just needed to come out and say why the game's not running. You couldn't get it optimized. You couldn't get the frame rate that you wanted. The game was too buggy. The game was not running well on said consoles. But you said nothing. You went radio silent. And that, to me, and a lot of console players, was a sign of disrespect. NWI, the community manager, whoever it is, at the time when things like this happen, it's your fault. Don't blame the community. And certainly don't blame content creators like myself for your failings. It is not our fault. You have to accept that this was your fault. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't other content creators' fault. It was your fault. What you should have done as a team is embrace people like me. Embrace the people who criticize your game. Go to these people and say, look, we're doing this, doing that. Let the community know. If you can't do it, you should have embraced people like me. I was willing to help you, NWI. But because of the disrespect, because of the mocking, and because of the radio silence, there was nothing I, personally, as a content creator who's a big critic of yours, could have done about it. Because apart from little whispers, there was nothing I could say to the community apart from the fact that you are disrespecting them, you are mocking them, and you are giving them no information. And again, that isn't my fault. And as I mentioned, mocking the community. If you see one of your partners making a derogative comment about the console community, or mocking them, or generally taking the piss at the console community, if that's one of your partners, the first thing you should do is tell them to take that post down. not agree with them, not heart it, not love the comment. Tell them to take it down. The last thing the community wants to see is someone mocking them because they are waiting for information about a game. And they certainly don't want the community manager agreeing with this person. They are making the console community look stupid. They're making them feel awkward that they are waiting for this game, and they are, stamping on their hope that they're going to get this game because someone from the partnership program is mocking them, and your community manager is agreeing with this person. Ha ha, very fucking funny. But the community, the console community, don't see it like that. And that leads me right on to the community manager themselves. The last community manager before Father Hank, Dara Def, was just not good. It was generally accepted in the community, PC and console community, that she was not good at her job. You then got Father Hank. We all had high hopes, and I even said, I hope he does well. I hope he actually listens to the community. Father Hank is useless, and that's my own personal opinion, and I know it's an opinion that other people have as well. Father Hank is just not good enough. NWI, you need to get an experienced community manager that will do the job that's laid out as a community manager. Again, it's generally noted that Father Hank is just not good enough. How many times do you see on videos of mine where they say, what does Father Hank actually do? What is his job and why is he not doing it? NWI, if I can give you a bit of advice, please go out there and get an experienced community manager. If you want this franchise to be big, if you eventually want to be a AAA developer, you need to get AAA staff. A good team behind you. You need to get someone who's experienced and doesn't act like a fool on developer blogs, showing sneakers, looking awkward, looking like a little puppet. I feel sorry for Mikey. I've said, Mikey, please don't say things like you are transparent, because you're not. And I feel sorry for Mikey because he is respected in the community. He looks awkward as well on the streams because you can see he doesn't like what's going on. Please get people like Mikey on the team. Father Hank, Dara Def, even Chienti were just not good enough for that role. Don't just pick someone out of the community or out of thin air and say, would you like to be a community manager? Employ someone that can do the job. One thing I definitely don't like, and I don't know if it's condoned by NWI in general or not, is, the bullying that goes on from community managers. We went through videos I did about people just asking about consoles, getting banned, getting blocked, getting silenced. Father Hank is doing the same thing. I'm sure people would like to be able to ask this question, not be afraid that they're going to be banned and blocked because they want to ask questions, legit questions about consoles. But I know people that have come to me and said they have been banned from commenting on the stream because they just asked, when is the console release? When can you tell us something about the console release? It doesn't matter. NWI, please listen. It doesn't matter if you say that we're not going to discuss console information on this stream. People are going to ask. And again, I go back, it's your fault. You're the ones who've been radio silent, rather than just give them something, give them anything. Information is so easy. You don't have to go into anything that would put your development at risk. You just need to give them anything. Do you think I like making these videos? Really, do you think I like coming on and saying not too good things about NWI and the community managers themselves, but I find there's a lot of bullying going on. I personally got an email of Johnny Higgins, and now the email was laid out nice, but I saw that as trying to bully me to stop making videos. And basically, and Johnny Higgins will tell you, I basically told him to go and fuck himself, because intimidation doesn't work for me. If you try and pull down my videos, I know you flag them, I know you try and pull them down, I know you've took steps to try and stop me making videos. You can't, because you can't turn around and say Devlin's lying, because I'm not lying. You need to stop the bullying. You need to stop the threats. It doesn't work well for you, NWI, because people like me will not stop doing what they do. I love this game. I love Insurgency Sandstorm. And it's you, NWI, as a team that's breaking it. I'm sure there's great people working there. I've heard about, fantastic members of staff on the team. And yet you have, Wetwood like Father Hank that, it's spoiling it as the forefront of the community. It's spoiling it. And maybe it's not Father Hank's problem. Maybe he's not allowed to say certain things. But to me, if you can't, as a community manager, go to the people above you and say, no, I'm going to say this. I need to give them something. That to me is not a community manager. That's just a puppet, and that's not what the community need. NWI, you've got a fantastic game. So I think it really is about time that you come out and, make some release and tell people, look, you were wrong. You should have communicated more. You should have listened to the community. You should have actually listened to people who criticize you, like myself. Take them on board, listen to what they've got to say, work with them, and get this game back on track. For me, it's the modding community that's keeping it going. If you're ever going to release it on console, I think it would be a success. I would want it for you to be a success, because it's an absolutely fantastic game. That has never, ever been the problem with me. The problem with me is NWI as a team and the way they have conducted themselves with the PC community and the console community. I love this game. I want it to be right. And it's about time, NWI, you come out and put the record straight once and for all. Go together as a team, speak about the console community, speak about Devlin, speak about whatever you want, but it's time to come clean. The natives are getting Restless, and all they want is for you to be up front and straight with them. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, press that bell icon and tick it so you get notifications of when we're uploading new videos. And this is Mr. Devlin. Fingers crossed for NWI, and out.